out of North Carolina for the Dallas Mavericks. The opening tip is controlled by the Mavericks in white, and you'll be hearing a lot of the 17,000 fans this afternoon. And a whistle and a foul by Jim Capers right off the top. Capers will be working this game along with Earl Strom. This is the opening weekend of the NBA season. Foul is on Olajuwon right off. And Dallas is on the board.
Well, they're going to show that ball to Olajuwon an awful lot today. Try and get him in early foul trouble.
Aguirre with the basket, missing outside is McRae. Here comes Brad Davis. Mavericks don't usually like to run, do they, Tommy?
They'll pull it up because their set offense is second to none in the NBA.
Aguirre inside. He was the second leading scorer last year to Adrian Dantley. The Rockets do like to run it up.
They're going to push it up almost every time they can get it, and that guy in particular, John Lucas.
Lucas back where he started, the first draft pick 8 years ago by these Houston Rockets. Brad Davis, the point guard. Jay Vincent, who's starting this game at the power forward position, but he's not very big for that spot. Blackman missing outside. Into the hands of Sam Perkins. What do you think of Perkins?
I think Perkins is one of the most fundamentally sound players to come into the league in years, and whether he plays center or not remains to be seen, but he can get the job done at any position.
Jay Vincent misses from the baseline, and here come the Rockets. John Lucas loops it to Lewis Lloyd, and the big guys underneath can't stuff it in. Sampson and Olajuwon, and it's back in the hands of the Mavericks.
They got in each other's way that time, Dick.
Will that happen much?
It might for a while.
Aguirre in against Sampson. You think Aguirre might have been a little intimidated by Ralph?
Well, 7'4", looking him in the face will make you think.
Lucas on the 2-on-1 break scores for the Houston Rockets. We're in the opening minutes here at the Reunion Arena in Dallas.
Lucas is a very important ball player for this club. He's going to push it up every single time, much better than Phil Ford did last year.
Rodney McRae is all over Aguirre. They go inside to the rookie Perkins against the rookie Olajuwon, and Sam won that battle.
Well, they're going to move Olajuwon around, get him caught up in the defense on the picks. He's never been out there playing that type of defense in the college ranks.
4-4. A little more than 2 minutes gone by. They look for Ralph on the alley-oop. Lucas, who's a good lob passer. They couldn't connect there. The ball is out of bounds, and it's Dallas ball.
They were going to see a nice pick that time. Aguirre setting a pick to free Perkins up, just trying to confuse Olajuwon because they're going to make him move all around that defense today.
Playing the high post, and that's the way Dick Motta likes his centers to play as Perkins. Jay Vincent cutting off with the basket.
They may be small up front, these Mavericks, but they can sure hit from the outside.
They're a good shooting ball club. They're not very big, and they rarely turn the ball over. The Rockets are a running team, and we will have a foul inside. Welcome to the NBA, Sam Perkins. He picks up his first personal foul, so the two heralded rookies each have one. Lucas, the veteran, came from San Antonio in a trade. Lewis Lloyd. Inside, Lewis Lloyd last year stole the spotlight from Ralph Sampson. Remember, Tommy, 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists.
He sure was something in that first game, and he had a pretty decent season last year.
Perkins gets free. Gets the ball back. I don't think he was expecting Mark Aguirre's return pass.
And we're going to see Sam go out there, and Hakeem trying to stick that arm in there, frees up Perkins. Those are the type of things that Hakeem is going to have trouble with. He was mostly a zone man in college on the defense, played right in the middle, was a shot block. He's going to have to move his feet, man-to-man defense in the pros.
Olajuwon was also a zone player to a great extent, and he may have the same problem. Brad Davis with the personal foul, and John Lucas on the line. John Lucas' career in life fell apart. He had problems with drugs that almost affected all kinds of things, but he has come back in brilliant fashion. 4th in the league in assists last year.
Said he feels wanted right now by Bill Fitch, and I think he really is.
8:25 to go in the first period. Blackman, he's on the verge of all-star excellence, isn't he? Brad Davis.
He's got the great outside shot, Blackman, and so does Davis, and that's what helps this Maverick team get the job done, that fine outside shooting.
Lucas inside to Olajuwon. First real offensive effort. Sampson crashes the boards, and here's Hakeem. He missed the stop. But how are you going to keep him out of the farm?
He is a quick jumper. He's going to jump on that apple tree all the time.
Brad Davis. Blackman guarded by Lewis Lloyd. Loses his footing. Rolando Blackman is a scorer, a defender, ball handler. Sampson, quick outlet pass to Lucas. It's a 3-on-3. Lewis Lloyd.
That's the kind of player Bill Fitch loves to have, an outside shooter as a wingman on the fast break that can pull up and hit that 18-footer. And when you have potentially McRae and Sampson on the wings, you got some kind of fast break attack.
We're looking at teams of opposite styles, really. If you look at the center playing a high post, team not liking to run much. Sam Perkins gives you an example of his outside shooting abilities for Dick Motta.
That's why Motta likes him, because he's got that good outside shot and also can score inside.
Olajuwon. Rebound inside by Jay Vincent. Here's Blackman. Houston by 2. Aguirre sees an opening. And it's fouled. Bill Fitch has won a championship in Boston, and Dick Motta has won a title in Washington. They're both very outstanding coaches. And our timeout. 6:53 to go in the first quarter, and here's Mr. Olajuwon inside, Tom.
When Hakeem goes to the board, nobody gets up for the rebound quicker than he does. It's a power move, and 1, 2, 3, he's up again. He's got the strong hands. Can't power it through, however, as he's underneath, but he stays with it, and that's tenacious in the first order. He's going to, you see him do that for the rest of the season. It's going to make this ball club a real great basketball team.
Bill Fitch told us yesterday that 30 days ago he couldn't even scrimmage with a set play system. So Hakeem has come a long way in just a month. There are scores of last night. Philadelphia, they got to be hungry after Boston won the title, took the crown from Philly. They get off on the winning foot. So does Boston. Larry Bird took things in his own hands. You'll see highlights of the half, as well as the Chicago victory over Washington. Michael Jordan's debut with the Bulls. Atlanta beat New Jersey. Dominique Wilkins, a big game. And out west, James Edwards, 30 points to pace Phoenix. And Jack Sikma coming through with 17 rebounds to lead Seattle over Utah.
It was a big win for the Celtics over the Pistons, and a big win also for Chicago over Washington. Everybody thought Washington was going to have a real good start this season, but Chicago showed that they're going to be on the move.
Well, if they win 5 in a row, Washington, they will be off to a good start, right? That's one game, but it's really a game that they wanted to win. Olajuwon has 2 personal fouls, and Mark Aguirre is on the line. He was an all-star for the first time last year, second to Adrian Dantley in scoring.
He's a 3-tablet player, Dick.
Coming into the ball game is Jim Peterson, and Olajuwon is going out of the ball game. Peterson is a rookie from Minnesota, 51st player pick, and Bill Fitch awfully high on him.
Yeah, and Aguirre, as I was saying, is a 3-tablet player, Dick. When you guard him for an entire night, you're running the locker room, ask the trainer for 3 aspirins.
Ralph Sampson is now moving to the center position, and guarded by Perkins, who is 6'9". We're going to call McRae for pushing off and pushing way off. Foul on Rodney McRae.
Has 2 wide bodies going at each other. Are they going to slam on each other?
Houston leading 12-10. Less than 6.5 minutes to go in the first period of play. Rolando Blackman with his magic. Steal. Aguirre to Vincent, and a foul. Well, they may not have a lot of height, and they may not have a lot of beef, but no one ever said Dick Motta's teams weren't well coached and didn't do the job defensively.
I think he looks for a really intelligent ball player. Aguirre is as heady as can be, and so is Blackman and Jay Vincent. They get more out of their size than anybody I've seen. They use their bodies well, and they're ever alert. They anticipate, much like Larry Bird does, what the next play the other team is going to do.
Dallas by a point. McRae. McGuire looking for the steal. John Lucas. They got him to be the distributor for this ball club. See how Houston does in their half-court offense. Peterson, the rookie, knocked away by Perkins. Good defensive play. Lloyd driving in. The basket's good, and they're going to call the foul on Brad Davis. So Lloyd and Lucas each with 6 points.
41-inch sleeves by Sam Perkins. He gets it out. He three-quarters. That's one of the reasons why I think they're not going to be too disappointed with him playing the center position. He gets good arm position out there to deny even the big guys the ball.
Is that why he wears number 41? Because of the sleeve length?
Yeah, and also, you know, he had to have all the shirts tailored, but now he's getting a monogram to boot.
Inside Aguirre on a feed from Davis, blocked by Sampson. Lucas saves it into the hands of Aguirre. Going inside, basket good, and a foul on the other end.
Mark Aguirre has probably the best body control for a wide body I've ever seen. He hangs there, uses it, and just knows how to create that blue sky to squeeze the ball up and in.
McRae's foul. McGuire will go to the line. He is tough inside. When he posts up and backs into you, Mark Eaton of Utah said he's one of the 5 toughest players in the league to block shots.
And McRae is really a fine defensive ball player, and one of the guys that they're most afraid of in guarding Mark Aguirre.
This is the chance for a three-point play. Saves it. Dallas has it. Good hustle by the Mavericks. Blackman spinning and wending his way inside. No basket. And the foul is against the Houston Rockets.
He does it all, Mark Aguirre. He's going to hustle. A lot of people thought that he was a temperamental superstar. Is that the actions of a temperamental superstar? No way. He's my all-pro, this man. He's got all the tools, and I think he wants to win this championship before he calls it a career.
Dick Motta. First personal foul on Lewis Lloyd. Houston is in the penalty right now, and so Rolando Blackman will go to the line. Dick Motta said he's the best scoring guard he's ever coached. He's happy the season's starting. He says when you go through 2-a-days with Dick Motta, you yearn for the season to start.
You know, I met him yesterday at the practice, and I called him by his name, Rolando, and he shook my hand. He says, you're one of the few guys that mention my name and spell it correctly and say it correct.
He didn't let go of your hand. He was so grateful that you called him Rolando Blackman. He's from Panama. He's from Panama, moved to Brooklyn, and that's where he started playing basketball. So with 5:25 to go in the first period, close ball game. Peterson given room to shoot by Vincent. McRae will take the shot. Wild off the glass. Peterson can't save. Dallas ball. And our first substitution for the Dallas Mavericks coming in now is Derek Harper. Everyone may remember him for dribbling out the clock with the score tied against the Lakers in the playoffs. They lost in overtime, but he has shrugged that one off, and you're going to see a lot of him this year.
He's what I call a nasty. He's in your face all the time, with or without the ball.
Aguirre. So Derek Harper, good defensive guard, in on Lucas. Throws up a wild shot. Aguirre with the rebound. 4-on-1 break. Jay Vincent.
When they have him, Dick, they take him.
Timeout, Houston.
We're going to see Mark Aguirre carve out some room for himself underneath against some big players using that wide body, and as soon as he gets the ball, off go the Mavericks. They'll take it when they can get those fast breaks.
And they've just run off 8 in a row. Tommy, Jay Vincent of the Mavericks at 6'7" had a tough assignment starting the game, guarding the 7'4" power forward Ralph Sampson, who's now at center. But Sampson hasn't scored, and Vincent's done quite a job.
Well, that was one of the questions that Dick Motta or anybody else watching basketball. How does a 6'7" guy play against the 7'4" guy? And he did it pretty well using his body. And Perkins has taken over and done nicely since then.
13 of the Rockets' 15 points have been by the guards, so they've kept it away from the big guys. Ralph has it inside against Perkins. A hook shot in the first points of the game by Ralph Sampson. Hakeem Olajuwon on the bench. He has scored 2 points and has 2 personals.
Well, Bill Fitch in that huddle obviously said, let's get it to our bread and butter guy, Ralph Sampson.
4 minutes and 19 seconds to go in the first period. Harper on the feed from McGuire. And now Houston coming back. Running the court, Lewis Lloyd. It's one of the things that he likes about Lloyd. He'll run the floor, which is exactly what Fitch wants.
Lewis Lloyd, as a wingman getting up, one of the best.
He's hit 4 in a row, Lewis Lloyd, so maybe he wants Lightning to strike twice on these opening games. He had 28 last year.
We're going to see some good execution here by the Mavericks. You can't give him a step. The ball go right over your head if you give him an inch. He doesn't make it, but that's the way they execute. They're looking for that, just at least little opening to score an easy one.
Jim Peterson with his second personal foul. Dallas has committed only 2 team fouls so far as Vincent misses the first. Robert Reed coming into the ball game. He's the last remaining member of Houston's team that got to the finals against Boston several years ago. He's a swing man, but he'll play mostly in the backcourt. And now it looks like he's going to be a forward. He can play either position.
They're going small now, so McRae will be the power forward and Reed probably the quick forward.
He's a good perimeter shooter. That's what the Rockets want from him. Perkins on Sampson. Sampson, Perkins loses the rebound to McRae. That's where a little extra aggressiveness might have paid off for Sam Perkins on that first rebound try.
Sam Perkins, a very good position rebounder.
McRae on Vincent. McGuire and Vincent each with 6 points. Knocked away by McRae. It is still Dallas ball.
A lot of people wondered how they'd ever be able to get away with playing Vincent and Aguirre together as a tandem, but they're getting away with it effectively.
Aguirre has a shot blocked by McRae. Second effort. You don't get to score 30 points in an average in a season for nothing. Dallas by 5. And 3 minutes to go in the first period. Vincent is sloughing off Reed, trying to double Sampson. Ralph has developed a good shot away. He doesn't have to go far away from the basket on that one, though.
Well, they are making a determined effort to get it to their go-to guy, Ralph Sampson. He virtually didn't see the ball while Hakeem was in there, and Bill Fitch called that timeout and says he's going to get it now.
Looking at college football scores, and we'll post them throughout the afternoon. Aguirre gets it into Vincent, so the two of them work to perfection. Aguirre to Vincent. Each of them have 8 points for the Dallas Mavericks.
Don't turn your head on defense against these Mavericks.
Sampson fouled by Perkins. That'll be the second foul on Sam Perkins.
Watch what happens when you turn your head on defense against these Mavericks. All of a sudden he slips by, and McRae never even knew it was going by his ear.
Perkins goes out of the game with 2 fouls. He has scored 4, and Kurt Nymphius replaces him into the lineup. Nymphius, a power forward most of last year, now at the center position. Robert Reed misses. Nymphius knocks it out. Houston still has it. Dallas by 5. Lewis Lloyd. And now Dallas again. Here's Blackman working against Lucas. He's got a lot of height on him. Nymphius trying to keep it alive. Rockets running. Reed open. Houston's cold. Dallas on the break. Aguirre is held. He'll go to the line.
Oh, he just tantalized Big Ralph that time. Gave him a little shake and bake, and Ralph went for it. But Aguirre's a nifty passer and also an exceptional ball handler to go with that wide body. That's what's kind of amazing about him. He has all these small man skills, and he's a big man.
First personal foul on Ralph Sampson. Aguirre, of course, has spent some time in residence at Mr. Mata's doghouse. Had an attitude problem, but that's all in the past.
I think that was his biggest problem of entering the pros, to know that he had to be a real team member, and Mata's got him right with it.
Lucas ahead on the break. So John Lucas gets 2 back. 27-23 Dallas. A minute and a half to go now in the first period. These two teams in the Midwest Division will be fighting it out. Utah won the division last year. Kurt Nymphius from Arizona State. Aguirre. Quick release for Aguirre, and he draws another foul.
Does he have some moves? I'll tell you, he up fakes. He fakes side to side. You got a man-sized job staying with him, and he knows how to use that body, as I said before.
Robert Reed with his foul as more football scores come across. Aguirre looking for his 10th point of the game. He already has 6 rebounds and 3 assists. Good all-around effort so far by Mark.
I'll tell you, he knows how to score more ways than any forward in the NBA, and that include Larry Bird and Bernard King, and that's why
putting him in big company.
Something. He sure is. He's ready to happen as an all-pro player, I think.
All-star for the first time last season. Nymphius with Sampson playing up high. They have McCray low and Aguirre trying to defend him. Rodney McCray, who was the 3rd pick in the draft last year. Reed lost it into the hands of Jay Vincent. Harper under a minute to go in the first period. Nearly a steal, and it is a steal by Lewis Lloyd. Houston down by 6 points. Dallas has had the lead most of this period. Lucas with the runner and is pushed and will go to the line. Coming into the ball game now is Dale Ellis for the Dallas Mavericks. He'll be the backup small forward this year and a good perimeter shooter. First-round draft pick last year, and Aguirre goes out of the ball game with 11.
And Ellis is a game-breaker type player. He comes in and gets them in clusters, and he can really hit them from downtown. More outside player than Aguirre, but very effective.
Here's Hank McDowell coming in for Rodney McCray. McDowell acquired from the Los Angeles Clippers for a draft pick.
Fitch thinks that McDowell is going to be a banger, a tough kid.
Lucas makes both free throws. They're within 4 of Dallas with 32 seconds to go. We're at the Reunion Arena. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn, the opening weekend of the NBA's campaign. Blackman working against Lewis Lloyd. Lloyd playing him well. Doesn't help.
Well, when he frees up his shooting hand, it's 2 points.
Coming quickly down the other way is Robert Reed, and that's the Bill Fitch style. You give up 2, get 2 in a hurry. Final seconds now of this opening period. McDowell is on Jay Vincent. Blackman, 3 seconds. And that's the end of the first period. Well played first period. The Houston Rockets have been involved in the coin flip for the first draft pick 5 times. They've won 4 of them, and 3 are on the court this afternoon. John Lucas, the guard, who's come all the way back to Houston after several visits in other cities, has 10 points, and he is the leading scorer for the Rockets. Hakeem Olajuwon has not played much in the first period, picked up 2 early fouls and has scored just 2 points. And Ralph Sampson, who has spent most of the game, Tommy, at center, has scored 4 points.
Well, that big experiment doesn't look like too much right now, but I'm sure it's going to work out before this season gets too far along.
Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn, second period here at Reunion Arena. Lucas guarded by Harper. They loop it in. Sampson. Foul. Sampson will go to the line. Kurt Nymphius picks up the person.
Well, that was an excellent pass that time by Lucas, and that's one of the reasons Sampson was licking his chops, because he knows he throws great lob passes.
You talked about Sampson now moving to center, and that's not really going to hurt Houston too much when you consider that last year he was the top rebounder in the Western Conference.
Well, you know, for a guy who is as skinny as he is, he's still 7'4", and he jumps pretty high. If you could get Hakeem playing that center position and him the power forward, you're going to control those boards, because he really works to get rebounds, Ralph Sampson.
Dallas lead is 3. Derek Harper. Kurt Nymphius, high post. Sampson, good switch on Vincent. Goes around him. And Sampson gets the rebound. Outlet to Lloyd. Lloyd with Blackman back. Good defense by Rolando Blackman. That's another reason he should be an all-star.
You see that outlet pass by Sampson? Nobody even gets up there to give him trouble with a hand in his face. He can see the entire court.
Vincent goes up, basket counts, and a foul to boot. It's on Hank McDowell. Tommy, we talk about the experiment that Bill Fitch is attempting with Olajuwon and Sampson, but it's conceivable because of foul trouble and other results as they see that they may end up not playing the two in the lineup at the same time.
That's very true, Dick, and one of the big problems that they're going to have is the inexperience of Olajuwon, as we mentioned before, particularly on defense, so he's going to be foul prone a lot this year.
Seconds on the shot clock. Sampson misses the turnaround. Here's the outlet, Dallas version. Harper. Lucas defends well, doesn't let him in. Vincent misses, and those long rebounds helps you if you want to run the other way.
They got to get it in the hands of Lucas because he's the penetrator, just like that.
12 points for John Lucas, already paying dividends for Coach Bill Fitch. Phil Ford, who was the point guard last year, comes off the bench now.
Phil Ford is a little bit more wilder, or a little bit wilder than Lucas. Lucas more under control at that point guard position.
Vincent over McDowell. It drops for him. Jay Vincent played his college ball with Magic Johnson at Michigan State. Robert Reed is called for a charge. Offensive foul on Reed.
Pretty good position that time by Vincent. Gets right into the position. Here's Lucas that they need so much. He really under control, can take it to the hoop. They're going to let him score a few of those, and then they're going to start these defenses going after him, and that's going to open a lot of points for Sampson and Olajuwon.
Robert Reed picked up the foul, of course, his second personal foul. Mitchell Wiggins has come into the ball game, traveling call against Howard Carter, the newest Dallas Mavericks. So Carter is in the game, so is Mitchell Wiggins. We'll see more of them when we come back to Reunion Arena. Tomorrow on the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern, a look at Jeff Kemp. What a job he's done as a backup quarterback for the LA Rams. A look at Sam Rutigliano, one of two deposed coaches this week in the NFL. The other, Ron Meyer, will be in the studio in the NFL Today. And then, of course, doubleheader action. St. Louis, Philadelphia in the NFC East. Atlanta, Pittsburgh, some of the feature games. Kenny Stabler retired. New Orleans goes against Cleveland. And in the second game of the doubleheader, the 49ers and Rams in the NFC West. Rams trying to climb closer, or Washington and the Giants. Big day of football tomorrow on CBS. You talked about John Lucas, who leads the Rockets with 12, and thank goodness he's done well because the front court for Houston just has not been scoring.
Well, right now the Mavericks are leading there 27-9 against the two biggest players at their positions in the NBA that started out this ball game.
They call the offensive foul on Sampson, and you don't see Ralph get a little upset much, do you?
No. He's a pretty placid guy. A lot of people would hope that he'd get a little mad once in a while.
It's the second year. Maybe he will. 9.5 minutes to go, second period. Dallas leading 35-30. They've held the lead practically all the way. And now they'll call the offensive foul on Dale Ellis. Green with envy is one of the colors of the Mavericks, green and blue. What an organization.
Well, this is a great town, and I'm really totally surprised that basketball has taken over as well as it has here in Dallas.
You know, where would the Rockets be without John Lucas, who has 14 of their 32 points? But you're right, people always love the Cowboys, but they're really talking a lot about the Mavericks these days. Dale Ellis hits on a high arc.
That is his shot, and you better get right on him or he's going to kill you.
Sampson. Give an example of his outside shooting. He has 7 points in the ball game, and he's going to need that 15-footer this year playing power forward if that's the deal.
When he comes up like the fourth man on the fast break and hits that shot, it's going to make him doubly effective.
Dale Ellis guarded by Robert Reed. Nymphius outside. Kurt Nymphius, a free spirit they say. Doesn't live and die with the wins and losses, but Dick Motta likes him enough.
Well, he reminds me of a guy that used to play with his elbows in, and then after 3 years learned to stick his elbows out and hurt people a little bit.
Sampson, the basket will count on a foul. I'd alley-oop to Ralph all day if I could, wouldn't you?
I'll tell you right now, you're going to see a little alley-oop happening, and Nymphius knows it's coming, but what do you do when the guy's 7'4"? Nymphius was right there and up and a power. You are at his mercy.
Nymphius, second personal foul. Second team foul on the Mavericks. Sampson with the free throw. First top draft choice to win Rookie of the Year honors since Lou Alcindor did it with Milwaukee 14 years ago. Kareem's still going strong, isn't he?
I think Sampson's going to be going strong for a long time, too.
8:05 to go, first half. Nymphius, good move inside on McDowell. Good move by Kurt Nymphius.
That strong move against Sampson to take that blow and still have enough control to squeeze it off the glass.
Lucas is going to be an Iron Man in this game, Tommy. What's he, 31 years old? That's off the hands of Sampson.
Well, that time a little drop came off the chops of Ralph Sampson. It was a little bit too high. He told me yesterday they're going to get lots of love. Here it comes. Watch him fight inside, and beautiful body control as he took the blow from Sampson to make the hoop.
Rodney McRae back in the ball game, and Lucas steals the ball from Derek Harper. McRae running the break. So McRae comes in and scores the basket, his first points of the ball game.
You know what's unusual about the Rockets? They're big, but they're also very, very fast.
Lead cut to 2. So the Rockets hanging in there against the Mavericks, and another steal. Credit Lucas again. Here's Ralph. Sam Perkins back in the lineup defending, and Ralph ties the game.
I tell you, Ralph is getting his dander up here. He's getting a little mad. You don't see Ralph take many games over, but he looks like he wants to take this one over.
Nymphius on McRae. Sampson helps out perfectly and forces a travel. You know, the sleeper in this ball game may be Ralph Sampson, because once you get that first year under your belt, you've got a lot more assurance the second year.
There's no question about that, Dick.
Timeout. For our viewers on the West Coast, coming up next, a Pac-10 battle between the UCLA Bruins and the Arizona State Sun Devils. Tomorrow, this man is going to have a mission. Tony Dorsett is watching our broadcast. He is a season ticket holder here. Hello, Tony. Wave to the folks. Dallas plays tomorrow. Tony, a couple of months ago, said, boy, I hope we're home that week and I can get a chance to see the opening game with Olajuwon and Sampson, and Sam Perkins making his debut, and we're glad he's here. Under 7 minutes to go. 41-41 the score. Phil Ford is in the game to give John Lucas a rest at point guard. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Mitchell Wiggins does what they wanted him to do. He came from Chicago for 7-foot Caldwell Jones, and he hits the outside shot.
Boy, he is a dynamite backup player for Lewis.
Brad Davis back in, so the new point guards are Davis and Phil Ford. And here's Mark Aguirre inside where he does most of his business. Ball comes out to Houston. They have a 5-on-3 break. Reed going to the hoop. The basket counts, and we'll have a foul as well. So the Houston Rockets getting the chance on the turnover to run the break. Aguirre missed inside and got hit in the face in the process. Dale Ellis with the personal foul, his second. Aguirre looks like he really got slapped up around the eye area. He's going to stay in the game, it looks like. And Robert Reed will try for the three-point play.
Robert Reed is an important player for this ball club to try and stabilize some of these young players like Peterson and Hakeem Olajuwon. When you can go to your bench and bring in a guy that's been in a championship series, you've got some kind of experience sitting on the bench.
Houston was down by 6 at one point. They're up now by 4. They forged a tie a few minutes ago and has scored 6 in a row. Another turnover. Nymphius on the bad pass. Phil Ford with Davis in his face. Peterson, the rookie, throws the ball away. It'll be Dallas ball. And I guess rookie mistakes are something that you've got to live with.
Until they become second-year players. And then sometimes they're still making rookie mistakes.
Well, you don't have any gray hair, Tommy, so I know they didn't give you any.
I left before I got them.
Brad Davis on a drive. And they called a foul against Dallas. Third foul on Brad Davis. So who expected the point guard? Of course, he's been known to take some charges, but he now has 3 personal fouls. We may see more of Derek Harper.
You're exactly right. He's off the bench.
Wiggins in the backcourt with Ford. Reed up front with McRae and Peterson. This is a small team the Rockets have, but they can run. Reed working against Dale Ellis. Back blocked by Nymphius. Still Houston ball. And here comes Derek Harper.
Well, and Bill Fitch has both Sampson and Olajuwon on the bench right now, hoping with this group to hang in the ball game. That speed is producing fast break baskets. They're out in front with the 2 biggies sitting on the bench.
And Sam Perkins is on the bench. You think we won't see any more of the people we've been talking about?
All of a sudden, it's going to be all guards.
Here is McRae going to the hoop. As the buzzer sounds, the basket will count. And Houston with a 47-41 lead, and Bill Fitch's team with Don Lucas leading the cheers up by 6. Aguirre has a screen from Nymphius. McRae the rebound. Wiggins to Peterson. And it's 49-41, and somebody better stop this express train. It's runaway right now. The Rockets have scored 12 in a row, and Dick Motta will call a timeout.
He better. A good timeout to call right now because they're starting to get that fast break going with the speed.
All right, thank you, Pat. Tommy, tell us a key in any fast break.
Is getting the big people out on the front end of the break. Like right here, you'll see Peterson take off on the rebound, and watch how quickly he gets up. And Houston is going to have tremendous people in that department. Hakeem and Ralph Sampson filling those lanes.
Nymphius with a fake and a foul. Interestingly enough, we talked about how the Dallas Mavericks the last 2 years have had the fewest turnovers in the NBA, but they have turned the ball over 5 times in this 12-point spurt by Houston to give the Rockets an 8-point lead. So that's out of character for them.
Well, they got their good ball handlers back in there now. Blackman is in there and Aguirre. Sometimes you get a little bit too cute, and sometimes the defense has a little bit to do about it. And that quicker feet of the Houston Rockets on defense has helped create some of those turnovers.
The personal foul is on Jim Peterson, the rookie from Minnesota, who has 3 personal fouls now. So Peterson on Houston has 3, and Brad Davis on Dallas have 3, as Nymphius with his 2nd attempt. Dallas is 8 of 16 from the free throw line. And trailing Houston 49-42 with 4 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the first half. Dallas led most of the first period, but Houston's been on a roll here in the second. Wide open Mitchell Wiggins. Peterson trying to keep it alive even with 3 fouls. He's aggressive, and he kept it alive nicely for McRae.
Well, he's using those shoulders. He put on 35 pounds between the end of the Minnesota season and the draft, and he's using all of those 35 pounds now.
Aguirre working on McRae. Aguirre has 11 points. Vincent 12. Those are the big scores for Dallas. Stepping on the line, it is still Dallas ball, and the substitution coming in is Jay Vincent. So Vincent and Aguirre, who have accounted for 23 of the Mavericks' 42 points, are now in the lineup.
But every time the ball goes into the low post now for the Mavericks, the Rockets are double and triple teaming.
Blackman hitting outside. He has 8 in the ball game, and it's a 51-44 ball game. Mitchell Wiggins acquired from Chicago, guarded by Blackman. McRae, a rookie from Louisville, 3rd pick in the draft last year. Inside, Reed doesn't get the basket, but gets the foul, and will go to the line.
You know what these smaller people that Houston has in there now, they're executing their set offense a lot better.
Perkins in, and Nymphius out.
Nymphius got his job done. And Perkins right now, I think they want to really control the boards. Give him a shot at doing it. And we're seeing these 2 guys. I don't know why they're not in the ball game. You know, Olajuwon's going to foul out. But they're sitting on a 7-point lead, so Bill Fitch happy to let him stay there for a while.
Dallas foul was on Vincent, number 1. Team fouls right now. Mavericks have 4 and the Rockets 2. Olajuwon has seen very little action. He saw action in the first, 4 minutes of the game, and out he came.
He's going to have those kind of problems all season long. They're going to try and take advantage of his inexperience on defense.
Why isn't Ralph Sampson in the game, though?
I think they're doing pretty well without him, so they're going to let him get that extra rest.
I'll buy that. Here's Vincent cutting in and is fouled by Rodney McRae. And he'll shoot, and a chance to bring the Mavericks to within 7 points. Commissioner David Stern, who's starting his first full year in the audience. A lot of good things happening to the NBA. Don't you feel, Tom?
I feel this is going to be the most competitive year the NBA's had in a long, long time. Almost anybody is going to be in the thick of the race. Some of those teams that you haven't heard too much about, like these Mavericks and Houston, are going to climb by some of the perennials.
Well, like we say, we could be looking at two of the powers of the future in the NBA. Of course, the perennials will be strong. Make no mistake about that. LA, Boston, Philadelphia. Detroit could very well enter the picture, too. Timeout, Houston. With 3:07 to go in the first half. Rockets got their fast breaks going. Good defense. That's why they have the lead. They struggled in the early minutes. 2:44 to go in the first half. 55-46. The Rockets by 9. Matches their biggest lead. Blackman with 6 seconds on the clock. No basket and a foul. Let's watch Ralph again.
Who said he can't play in the low post, okay? Inside it goes, and Perkins really tried to whip it away from him with that 41-inch arm span, but once you get by, Sampson goes up, and you're dead.
Perkins has scored 4 points in his 2 fouls. The Rockets have a few people in foul trouble right now. Aguirre misses inside, and here comes Houston. Phil Ford. Gone all the way. And draws the foul. In foul trouble for the Rockets, Rodney McRae, Jim Peterson, and Robert Reed, all with 3 personal fouls.
I think Bill Fitch is very happy that Peterson's got 3. He wants a banger. He'd like to see him foul out in about 7 minutes to know that he's a real banger.
Phil Ford. He and John Lucas have been friends since the 10th grade, so he didn't get his feathers ruffled when Lucas was acquired.
I'll tell you, very few teams have backup point guards of the same type that this Houston team has that'll fit right in with the style that Houston wants to play.
Biggest lead of the ball game for the Rockets is 11 points. Well, they have just taken the game away from the Dallas Mavericks, haven't they, in the second?
Well, that's characteristic of a real fast break team. They can do it in clusters.
Harper inside to Aguirre. He's held. Looked like Mitchell Wiggins with the foul. They love, well, they're not going to be wearing bags over their heads here, I'll tell you that, because this team is on the rise, even though they trail right now.
Get those noses in the oil fields or something, I don't know.
You'd like to get your nose in the oil fields, I know that. Aguirre. Boy, they are struggling from the free throw line. That's what the game field goal, well, that's the second period. Dallas is shooting well, but Houston's out of sight.
Well, Houston is playing very effective defense against that inside game of the Mavericks.
2 minutes to go in the first half. Knocked away by Harper. Still Houston possession.
You know, the other thing, Dick, with this Maverick ball club, they do have a problem against the fast break team. They're small, and they're not really exceptionally fast.
But notice how their front court is outscoring the big boys. Robert Reed hits from outside. Robert Reed, and it's now 59-47. So Dick Mott is going to have to get the troops together. And the Houston Rocket team, which Bill Fitch says, you watch as the season goes on, I think we can be a force to be reckoned with at the latter part. Maybe they'll be stronger earlier than people think. If that's on Peterson, that'll be his 4th, but let's wait and see. It is on Peterson, and that's number 4 on the rookie from Minnesota. And they have changed it now. Wiggins, his 2nd.
You know, Bill Fitch we're looking at, he's a fun man. I love him. He's got 3 offenses, he says. GMA, general milling around, KISS, keep it simple, stupid, and SOB, save old Bill.
22nd timeout called for.
Here we see Sampson positioning up, gets that step inside against Perkins. And Sampson learned a thing or two in 1 year in the pros.
Mr. Carter, Don Carter, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He's smiling even though his club is down by 12 points right now.
Well, he had lots to be proud of, that club last year.
Second place in the Midwest Division, won 43 games. This is a expansion club in its 5th year, and in the 4th year they won 43 games and reached the Western semifinals before losing to the Lakers. It's quite an accomplishment. Blackman on the line.
Now this fella here is an unusual ball player, Blackman. I mean, he's 6'6", and he's like a real cat. And he's an exceptional defensive player, a rebounder. That's what helps him get away with not having those big forwards.
10-point lead. Mavericks get it back. 4 on 3. Jay Vincent. 16 points for Jay Vincent in the first half. He is the high scorer for the Mavericks, and they're down by 8. This crowd could be a 6th man for the Mavericks when we get to the 4th period if they stay close. But Phil Ford quiets him down in a hurry with a good move in the lane.
It sure was a good move. He got it off over a taller player.
Under a minute now in the first half. We'll be joining Pat O'Brien back in our studios in New York. Aguirre, basket, no. Offensive foul. No basket.
You almost have to know little tricks like that against Aguirre to get away when he's going to turn and then hope that the referee will call an offensive foul. Beautifully played that time by Reed.
Be anxious to see Michael Jordan in his debut, and Pat will have highlights of that at halftime along with the Boston-Detroit game of last night before 27,000 fans. Sampson. Reed is right there. The right spot at the right time with nearly a half a minute to go.
Well, if they have to start doubling up on Sampson underneath the basket, it's going to free some of those other Houston Rockets up on the offensive board, and that's what happened that time.
12-point lead. Houston Rockets with a big second period. They were down 31-27 after 1 period. They have 11 on the shot clock. Blackman. Short. Wiggins to Ford. Filling the lane is Sampson. Maybe he didn't see Ralph.
All he had to do is lay it up near the rafters. Ralph would have gotten it. How can you miss Ralph Sampson?
Well, maybe when he turns sideways, Tommy. I don't know. 11 seconds to go. Houston ball. They lead by 12 points.
When a guy that big runs, you got to give him the ball if he's open.
Mitchell Wiggins. Rebound with 1 second to go, and the clock is going to run out. Well, Michael Jordan made his debut with the Chicago Bulls. You'll see highlights at halftime. Lloyd working against Blackman, and they're going to isolate one-on-one. Lloyd against Rolando. Sampson the rebound. Basket good and a foul.
Olajuwon. So quick to the hoop. You better get a body on him quickly. And sometimes you forget that from the college ranks. Watch Sam Perkins, who really is looking inside. And Olajuwon one stepping up. Perkins never put a body on Olajuwon, and you better make sure you got some muscle on him.
I apologize to Hakeem because, you know, he wants to do what he can in this first game, and Ralph is having a pretty good contest. Lane violation, and Olajuwon's going to get another chance.
That's probably the biggest asset that Hakeem brings to his game right now is his willingness to get on that offensive board.
Brad Davis, the point guard. Rolando Blackman. Also in the backcourt, Jay Vincent and Mark Aguirre up front, and Sam Perkins, the rookie from North Carolina. Driving in, and it goes. Good baseline drive by Sam Perkins. 13-point lead. Rockets in front. Sampson outside in the perimeter to Lloyd, who walks.
Now there's a 7'4" man making a great pass like that. It was just some good defense by the Mavericks that saved the layup.
Jay Vincent with 16, Mark Aguirre with 12, Blackman 10 are the leading scorers for Dallas. Defender fell down, Lloyd, and that left Blackman with an easy 2 points. For Houston, Sampson and Lucas with 14, and Robert Reed 10 off the bench. 11-point lead. It was 12 at the half. Here's Ralph outside. Perkins the rebound. Dallas will run if they can. If not, they set it up. Vincent open. Fakes Sampson nicely. And McRae got a piece of it. And now they say he lost it out of bounds.
It should have been a foul or a block shot or something, because he was over the rim. Here's a great fake on Sampson, takes it strong, and there's a couple in there, and it looked like McRae had his hand on it.
Minute and a half gone by, third period. Sampson, away from the hoop. Hasn't developed the sky hook if he's ever going to.
That'll really be a sky hook.
He goes with the turnaround. Aguirre over the top of his teammate Perkins. Dallas trying to cut it to 9 here. Sam Perkins against Hakeem Olajuwon. Open, Blackman. No basket if it goes. 3-second violation called against the Dallas Mavericks. You know, you talk about the bench, Tommy. It's an 11-point lead for Houston, and their bench outscored Dallas's bench by 11 points, and that's been the difference.
Well, they have really unexpectedly, I think, gotten quite a contribution from Wiggins and Peterson in that first half.
Not to mention Reed. Lloyd. Rebound Olajuwon. That's what he did in Houston. Hakeem Olajuwon. Keep in mind that Olajuwon has only played basketball for 6 years. Came from Lagos, Nigeria.
3 years he only played.
Oh, no.
3 years in college. He played 4 months before he came to Houston, Dick. That's what Guy Lewis told me. So he's made a great, contribution to basketball in that short a time.
Brad Davis missing perimeter. Olajuwon had it out of bounds, and a loose ball foul will be called.
Here's a great move. And Olajuwon, again, with that big asset of getting on the boards, you better get on him quick, and power stuff. Watch out.
The crowd did not agree with the loose ball foul called against Jay Vincent of Dallas, and they're still letting Earl Strom and Jim Capers know they're not happy with it. We're in the third period with 9:15 to go. 68-55. Houston leading, and Olajuwon, they're looking for him inside against Perkins. Hakeem the Dream. He has 9 points.
And he used his body very, very well that time to get around Perkins.
$15-point lead. Vincent missing, and a foul. 2-shot foul as Sampson went way out to defend against Vincent.
Here's the prior play. Olajuwon with the bent knees gets good position, a strong spin move against Perkins. Perkins plays pretty decent defense on that. Try to get on his shooting hand, but Olajuwon right over the top of him.
Olajuwon has all of Houston's points this period. That foul was on Ralph Sampson, his third. And Vincent misses the free throw. So the Mavericks continue to struggle from the free throw line. They're 13 of 23. 1 out of 2, and with 8:50 to go in the third, 14-point lead for the men in red, the Houston Rockets, who last year were in last place in their division, but improved over their previous year by a good margin. McRae loops it to Olajuwon. Basket counts and a foul. Olajuwon now continues his third period onslaught. He has all 9 of Houston's points.
Got a little pick and roll, and Olajuwon doing it like an old pro right now. Nice pass over the top, puts it on the floor, and goes up strong. But that's not a college basketball move. That was a pro move.
3 personal fouls on Aguirre. Olajuwon misses the free throw, and rubbing his hands in anticipation is Bill Fitch. He knows the best is yet to come.
Bill Fitch must have fed him a steak and a milkshake like Guy Lewis used to do down there in Houston at halftime here today.
Aguirre going in and draws the foul. He's saying it should be goaltending. Nothing doing. Dallas trying to fight back here. Season opener after a grand campaign. And a 4th personal foul on Rodney McRae is going to force Bill Fitch into going to his bench. In the person of Robert Reed, who gets up.
Yeah, Bill Fitch made a nice move here in the second half. I'm sure at halftime he said, well, let's get Hakeem in the ball game. Let's let him feel like he's part of this team. And very important in a rookie's first ball game that they feel like they're there to stay and made a contribution.
They fouled. Sampson came down and was fouled by Sam Perkins, getting the rebound. Well, not only do you have to have a good starting 5, but you've got to have the good people coming off the bench, and Houston maintains their bench lead. 15-point lead in the ball game, 72-57. Robert Reed. He's got 12 off the bench.
He improved his outside shooting. You know, he used to be streaky, but he looks like he's got great confidence taking that outside shot now.
He says, I used to worry about minutes, no more. I just want to win. Perkins, foul going in. Olajuwon was there.
Wait till you see it. We could show this on a replay. Talk about those two big guys going after somebody.
All three of them right there.
Wow. You almost have to be 9 feet to get it past the both of them.
So Sam Perkins goes to the line to shoot 2.
You know what this kid reminds me of? A cobra. You know, he plays the game. He's so smart. He just sits there all coiled up, and next thing you know, he strikes at you and kills you.
Third personal foul on Olajuwon. I'll tell you, a lot of these North Carolina players have their tongue hanging out. I don't think Dean Smith ran him so much, but you know, Michael Jordan showed that when he was at Madison Square Garden last week. Looks like these guys are working hard out there. .15-point lead for Houston. Olajuwon. This is Perkins. Brad Davis. See what he sees from point guard. Set it up. Houston's playing a solid game defensively. That shouldn't go unnoticed. And Jay Vincent going around. Was pushed. Sampson has picked up his 4th personal foul. The crowd likes that one. And now Jim Peterson gets off the bench.
Here's one of the problems that Sampson's going to have as a 7'4" man, fighting over picks outside. Watch him. It's just impossible sometimes, but he's giving it an effort for a big guy to bend his knees and fight through like a 6'6" man.
Jim Peterson will come in for Ralph Sampson, who leaves the game with 14 points and 8 rebounds. Good opener for Sampson so far, but he's in foul trouble. Aguirre. Knocked away. Peterson the rebound. He's 6'10", 236. He's the banger off the bench. Olajuwon. Davis got a hand on it. Loose ball, and I think Capers is going to call a foul.
Well, this kid Jim Peterson is not a bad rookie himself, boy.
Rockets maintain their lead over the Mavericks. Right now, we want to remind you at the conclusion of the game, Tom Heinsohn and I will select the Light Beer Most Valuable Player of the Game. In conjunction with the award, Light Beer from Miller will present a check for $1,000 to National Multiple Sclerosis Foundation in that player's name. 6 minutes, 59 seconds remaining in the third period, and Brad Davis on the line. He's the only Maverick with 4 personal fouls.
He's the answer to 2 trivial pursuit questions.
I don't play the game that much ever since I got
Well,
ripped.
I'm going to help some people in this game.
All right, what are they?
The question was, who was the field goal percentage record holder? And the other one was, whose wife, ball player's wife, was manager for Tina Turner? Now you know.
Brad Davis.
Brad Davis, the man shooting the foul shot.
Very good.
I told it to you before I even gave you the question.
Don't tell the people that. Robert Reed hits, misses from outside, and the rebound by Blackman. Here's Davis running. Dallas coming back, but Olajuwon makes a good defensive play, knocking it away, but the Mavs still have it. They have plenty of time to get back into it, down by 13. They've got Aguirre and Vincent in the lineup with Blackman, Perkins, and Davis. Perkins. Reed's got a big height advantage on Davis. Aguirre gets free. Olajuwon smartly did not try to get close and commit another foul.
Well, Guy Lewis told him, hey, if you can't block it, don't foul. He knows at least that much.
An 11-point game and a blocking foul against Dallas. I'll tell you what, Tom, I think that now the Dallas Mavericks are going to have to be concerned a little bit with John Lucas, but let's look at what Dallas did on offense.
Here's a strong move by Aguirre, and Hakeem tries to help out, but that Aguirre makes power moves. For a man his size, you don't get in his way.
5 fouls on Brad Davis. So Davis is in foul trouble. He's Dick Motta's extension on the court, and if he fouls out of the ball game, Derek Harper will assume the role, and Harper is now in the ball game, and Davis is out.
I think the addition of Lucas to this Houston team has really made it a solid fast break ball club.
Aguirre Foul inside by Peterson, and for Peterson that will be number 4. So now there are 4 players on the Houston Rockets who have 4 personal fouls. Peterson, Reed, McRae, and Sampson.
The reason I think Lucas is such an important part to this fast break team, he's more pass oriented than Phil Ford was last year. He's looking for people. We just saw that replay at halftime where they could have easily lobbed it up there to Sampson for the stuff. Lucas would have given it to him probably.
So you don't only need rookies to build a team up. 6 minutes to go in the third period. 11-point lead for Houston. Olajuwon, Peterson, and Peterson on the offensive boards, and they're just killing Dallas inside.
Is he a horse? I think everybody's going to start going up to Minnesota. I mean, there's been a couple of good players come out of there. Kevin McHale. In fact, Bill Fitch called Peterson a poor man's Kevin McHale.
He does. Vincent outside. Don't forget Michael Thompson, Jim Brewer. In fact, if you look at the Minnesota roster, they have produced a lot of NBA players, even though the Gophers themselves haven't really gone to town in the Big Ten that much.
Well, this kid was so skinny last year before the draft that nobody wanted to take a chance with him.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Dallas tightening their defense. 4 now. Lucas better hurry. He lost control, and here come the Mavericks. Trying to cut it to 9. Vincent open. As Ralph looks on. Timeout, Houston.
Good timeout by Bill Fitch there.
Coming up next on the West Coast, it'll be UCLA and Arizona State. Dallas coming back in this game, Tommy Heinsohn, and keep in mind they're coming in with 5 new players this season.
Well, with a team that relies so much on good execution, when you got 5 new ball players in a month, they're not picking up that sharpness of execution that Mata would like to have. He's not using a lot of players here tonight.
But they will. Mavericks have outscored the Rockets 12-4 in the last 3 minutes. But Olajuwon comes through in the lane, and Hakeem has 13 points, 11 here in the third period.
He's feeling terrific right now, Hakeem.
Pass inside, knocked away, and Blockman hits from the corner.
Now watch Houston put it right back at him as quick as they can.
Lloyd. He's not a good outside shooter. And there is the kiss of death. But generally,
you said it, but you were wrong, right? You admitted it. He can shoot from outside, particularly when a guy is 5 feet off him.
Aguirre working against Reed now. 82-71, under 4 minutes to go in the third period. Vincent off a screen, and here's Lewis Lloyd. What he does best is run the court. He hit the shot last time, and he traveled.
Yeah, but
let me get this right now. He doesn't shoot well, but he runs the court right, and he hits a shot, and then he travels on the break.
Well, he was pushing it up there, but I'll tell you, they had everybody out on the wings, and only 2 of the Mavericks back. And that pace is starting to take its effect on the Mavericks.
Big upset. Kansas upsetting number 2 ranked Oklahoma 25-3 in the fourth quarter. We'll follow that one. 3:24 to go in the third period. Perkins. Rebound, Olajuwon knocked away, but it's still Houston ball. People in Texas are interested in the game on the floor and also the game between Texas and SMU. They're at halftime in Austin. Look at Nebraska. 11-point lead. Lucas. Rebound by Harper. Here comes Dallas. Ellis from Tennessee. He'll give you a lift coming off the bench.
I'll tell you, he is a bona fide fast break player. He is a greyhound. He's almost out of place here on this Maverick team.
Olajuwon coming right back. 15 points. If you would have looked at him at halftime, you say, well, it may be a long, long while before Hakeem asserts himself. But now in the third period, he's really come alive. He has 13 points, 15 in the game, and shooting well. 2.5 minutes remaining. Turnover. How sad can it get? Boy, that guy's been around a few years, huh?
Looks like you there, Dick, with those wrinkles.
Thank you very much.
Wrinkle City.
Yeah, you're 10 years older than I am.
Here it goes into Hakeem. Power move. A lot of people said he wouldn't be able to do that an awful lot, but he seems to be getting away with it here in this ball game.
I was a junior high when you graduated from Holy Cross.
Oh, don't tell people that.
Lloyd missing outside. Loose ball foul called. Gone the other way. It's against Houston.
Why'd you tell me before the game you're going to get a facelift?
Peterson with his 5th personal foul. One more and he's out of the game. And you know what? He'll replace you right here when he does foul out.
I quit.
If you keep up with that stuff.
I'm not going to do it anymore.
Ellis will go to the line and shoot. It's an 11-point lead for the Houston Rockets with 2:17. How do you look at, the so-called ebb and flow of this game? Houston has kept that lead just about where it is.
Well, their pace has been exceptional, and they've managed to push the ball at this Maverick team. I think the problem with the Mavericks today has been that they've not been able to go effectively to their bench deep enough to play the pace game that they would like to, and it's starting to show up in their outside shooting.
Made both free throws. General manager of the Mavericks, one of the architects to Dallas's amazing progress, Norm Sanju. But it's a 9-point lead for the Rockets. Winding down to 2 minutes to go in the 3rd period. Olajuwon up on top. Nymphius guarding him. Lucas smothered by Derek Harper. 6 on the shot clock. Reed, long one. Blockman the rebound. They can cut it to 7. Ellis over Peterson. Houston ball. Couldn't cut it then, and now they're going to have to go on defense against the Rockets with 1:42. Dallas led at the first period, 31-27. Since then, the Rockets, with a big second period, took the lead and then maintained what was once 17 points, now is 9.
An illegal defense call.
This has been a media highlight. People from all over the country flocking to see that man, Olajuwon, and Perkins in their debuts. That's how Olajuwon works with Sampson. Olajuwon is working pretty well on his own right now.
Well, it looks to me like you better not body him. You better, when he gets the ball, turn around, because he's very quick on the spin move. And Nymphius that time got caught on it.
So Hakeem goes to the free throw line. Kurt Nymphius with the personal foul.
Here he gets it, and Nymphius trying to body him, and that little spin move allows him to get an angle at the hoop.
They want to tell him to keep calm. Lucas can do that. There's another veteran guard who hasn't seen action in this game, Lionel Hollins, who I think will get some play from Bill Fitch this year.
Well, he's another guy with playoff experience, was on a championship team, and you can imagine he's still got some great legs left. He's going to be a help. You're right.
10 points lead by the Houston Rockets with 1:10 to go. Aguirre cuts it to 8. Aguirre with 19 points. Vincent has 21, 40 between the two high-scoring forwards. They go to Olajuwon and a whistle. And a 3-second violation first is called against Houston. It'll be Dallas ball. Nymphius got hit in the eye. Ralph Sampson on the bench.
There's Nymphius. Olajuwon spreading out, showing that he's not afraid of the contact. No way.
At one point, the Rockets had a lead of 17. It's 8 and still 8. As Olajuwon gets the rebound. He has 6 rebounds in the ball game, and that's how much time remains in the 3rd period.
But, I'm surprised Houston is not running as much as they did in the first half. They're kind of slowing it down. That's right where the Mavericks would like to have them.
Lloyd's shot is blocked. You're right. It happened right there, Tommy. Harper back. Aguirre double team. Scores anyway. And it's a 6-point ball game. They have made up 11 points here in this period.
The Mavericks will match their half-court game against anybody.
Lucas with a runner. What a shot for Lucas, who has 18 himself. 5 seconds to go. Aguirre loses it, but it's Dallas ball with 1 second to play.
Well, this is a tough situation right now. Get one shot off with 1 second on an out of bounds underneath. That's tough.
We want to know how the Mavericks will do this year. We have a hunch they're going to do very well. And 17,000 plus with the famed wave. We start the fourth period. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn. The Dallas Mavericks were down by 17. They now trail by 8. They have their scorers in there. Aguirre. Vincent is on the bench, but Blackman is there.
That's that execution, Dick. You can't give him an inch. A big hoop coming out of the timeout by Aguirre. Called invariably by Motter on the bench.
23 points. Hakeem knocks Nymphius to the floor and is called for the foul.
Nymphius gave it the Stanislavski treatment. Well, here's the beautiful pass from Nymphius as Aguirre had slipped by Robert Reed. And look at this. Hits the deck. I'm going to tell you. Good acting that time, but also a little bit of a push by Hakeem.
Well, you could play soccer in Nigeria and play rough. Aguirre, 25 points. He averaged nearly 30 last year. And it's a 4-point lead for Houston, 87-83, opening minute of the final period.
Houston
pressure.
Much too much in their half-court game now. They were successful running and pushing the ball at him.
Lucas trying to penetrate, and he does. What a game for Lucas, who has 20 points to keep Houston in front, 89-83. And Ralph Sampson and Rodney McCray, two starting forwards, will be coming in shortly. Aguirre lost the ball out of bounds. Houston ball. So let's see who's coming in. We have McCray and Sampson up front, and we have Brad Davis, who's back in at point guard for the Mavericks, and he is in with 5 personal fouls.
Bill Fitch says this is the time to stick this one away. Get Sampson back in there.
Well, over Ellis.
You think Dale Ellis has played a 7'4" man before?
I don't think anyone has.
Some of these forwards in the NBA in for a shock.
So Olajuwon and Sampson in the game at the same time. Same 5 who started for Houston in there. Aguirre misses. Nymphius fights. Sampson for the loose ball, picked up by Olajuwon. 91-83. So Houston had the lead cut to 4. Now up to 10 as Olajuwon has 18 points in the ball game. He had 14 of them in the third period.
That tip by Olajuwon, really, that's what's going to make him a great player. Coming up on a fast break quickly for the rebound.
Nymphius inside Davis. Good touch pass to Aguirre. It doesn't drop for him, and here comes the Houston break. Lucas and Lloyd. And it's Lewis Lloyd. He had to avoid a charge and did it nicely. He has 13 points, and now a timeout called for by Dick Motta.
Here you see what it can happen with a guy like Olajuwon. Lucas with the good penetration there, back to the fast break, but Olajuwon for the tip.
Timeout, 9:29 remaining. Olajuwon has been well coached on the break, hasn't he, Tommy?
Well, he played at Houston, and he's going to show that fast break here. Here he is on a rebound. Now watch him take off after he gets rid of that outlet pass. When you got a guy like Sampson and Olajuwon filling lanes like that on the front of the fast break, even if you miss, look at him up high at a great shot at the tip-in. When you put Sampson and Olajuwon on a fast break, what an offense.
Nymphius is the center. Mostly a power forward. Last year, Pat Cummings was the Mavericks center, and he's been traded to the New York Knicks. Brad Davis coming around the screen with the basket. 10-point lead, 95-85.
Brad Davis could be the guy to help because he's been on the bench a lot of today, and his outside shot won't be too rusty.
He's got 5 fouls, though. Lucas inside to Ralph. Olajuwon gets the rebound at the other side. Well, that's what happens when you get the 6'10" Olajuwon, and that's what he really measures to be, and the 7'4" Sampson.
Again, you're going to be very much surprised by Olajuwon, all these centers. You've got to get him off that offensive board. He goes hard and strong.
Sampson the rebound. Lucas setting it up. 8 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Fourth period. Inside, Hakeem gets it. 22 points for Hakeem Olajuwon and 9 rebounds. And what an opening game for the rookie from Houston. Brad Davis penetrating inside. His second basket. And now the outlet pass in a hurry. Lucas feeding McRae, and Houston coming right back.
Remember the Lakers last year in the playoffs, the quick inbound pass and take off? Well, Houston's got it in their repertoire too.
Shooting this period, Houston has it going, and their lead up to 14. It was cut to 4. So the Dallas Mavericks had a big run, and now they've cooled off, and Houston is running again. Sampson this time, and he draws the foul. And coming in is Derek Harper. Sampson has scored 16. Olajuwon has 22. Ralph will shoot.
Ralph really asserted himself in that first half. Got down into that low post position and was very effective. Sat out most of this second half. But he is going to be the real offensive player, that go-to guy, I think.
This is the first free throw. Houston is running away from the Dallas Mavericks in a big upset. In the Big 8, Kansas upsetting second-ranked Oklahoma. That's a final score. Sampson looking for his 17th point of the ball game. So even with Sam Perkins, who probably should be a forward and not a center, the Dallas Mavericks are going to need an inside man. Maybe they'll get him in a future draft, but that appears to still be their Achilles heel.
A big man, the Mavericks, if they had any kind of a power rebounding big man, and they've got potentially a guy sitting on the bench, Wallace Bryant, but they don't feel he has a lot to learn. But he's got that 7-foot wide body, and I hope that maybe they can train him into it. In the meantime, they're going to go with Nymphius and Perkins.
Rodney McRae has 5 fouls, so McRae and Peterson have 5 personal fouls. The one missing ingredient, the Mavericks apparently, even with Perkins, who will help them this year, still minus that big man inside, and who knows, maybe that Joe Barry Carroll trade that they've talked about will come to fruition. Carroll is a free agent right now. 13-point lead for the Houston Rockets. Lucas going for 3, and that'll really pour salt in the wound. 23 points for John Lucas. He is the unheralded hero of this ball game. 7 assists.
He set the pace and the tempo of the game for the Rockets and kept it at a constant level.
Brad Davis penetrating inside off the hands of Nymphius. Here comes the break. Lucas at the other end, behind his back. Fancy. Olajuwon. I'll tell you. That's got to be the niftiest play we've seen all afternoon.
Well, that's what I meant about Lucas being pass-oriented. He's looking for somebody to make a layup on the break. If he hasn't got it, somebody else is going to get it.
Here's Sam Perkins. 10 points in the game for Sam, playing his first NBA contest. Houston is bringing it up slowly. Now, why should a fast break team never do this kind of a thing?
Well, they're sitting right now, Dick, on a 14-point lead, and they're in a crucial period of game. Should we keep the pace, produce that big lead, or should we try to nurse the clock? Most fast break teams lose if they try to slow it down.
They're going to whistle it back. We had a foul at the other end. It'll be against Dallas.
Here's the behind-the-back pass that we say, and Olajuwon, Johnny on the spot, quickly up as the 4th man. You're not going to stop this fast break.
Thank you, Pat. That's how much time remains in the 4th period, and the Houston Rockets, and they have been paced in the second half by Hakeem Olajuwon, who has 24 points. He has made his last 6 and 10 of 12 from the field this half. Pretty impressive.
It sure is.
Here's Lewis Lloyd.
You know, Bill Fitch has put quite a cast of characters together. You know, and this guy, I think every team ought to have a bald-headed ball player. I mean, it gives the team a distinction. Isn't bad enough you got a 7'4" guy, but a bald-headed guard.
Who did you have?
Nobody.
That's great.
But he's a better caster than I am, Bill Fitch.
There's the score and the timeout story, but Dallas, in order to get back in the ball game to make any kind of timeouts mean anything. Timeout's not really a factor, folks. Nymphius. Davis looking inside for Vincent, but Reed overplaying him well. Perkins. With 1 second, Nymphius gets the basket at the buzzer. But you know, the Dallas Mavericks have no offensive rebound since the first period, which points up again why they really need that big man in the middle.
Particularly against a team this size that's loaded with rebounders.
But they get the turnover, and with 5:14 to go, Brad Davis, basket counts, and a foul too. So Davis, bringing him back, has 6 points in this third period as Mitchell Wiggins comes in the ball game for Houston.
You know, when you do all this running the way the Mavericks have done it, and they start to lose their outside shooting effectiveness. And Brad Davis coming off the bench like he has after being saddled with those fouls is a lot less tired than some of the other players. And he may be a factor in them trying to climb back into this ball game.
13-point deficit, 5:11 to go. Still time for the Dallas Mavericks to make one last charge. They did earlier. They cut a 17-point deficit to 4 before Houston ran away again. Reed. Phil Ford, the point guard now, and here's Mitchell Wiggins. Derek Harper, the rebound. Trying to cut it to 11. Brad Davis. Here's Vincent. Basket counts, and a foul again. And Robert Reed may be shaken up.
Davis is a catalyst for a lot of what they do freelance. He makes the penetration, makes the defense drop in. Vincent all alone. Reed has to leap at him, foul him at the last instant. But Vincent and Davis connecting on a fine freelance play by the Mavericks.
Vincent off to a good start. He has 26 points in the ball game. He had a slumping year last season, came alive in the playoffs, came to camp under his weight of last year, so he's in shape. Harper on a steal. And it winds up in the hands of my partner. He takes a hook shot and misses.
I took a hook shot, Dick. It knocked my... here it comes. Right into my face. Oh. But I got the hands up. Just, you can tell I got a little age on me, Dick. A little slow movement there.
You get an assist. 4:20 to play. 109-99, 10-point game. This could be a big basket for Dallas in a comeback. Vincent, it drops for him. He's got 28 points to lead the Mavericks, and Dallas is on a run of 10 in a row. And they're going to call a foul. Nymphius maybe.
The Mavericks right now are working for Vincent because they should on one-on-one against Hakeem or Sampson.
Each team with 3 fouls, and there is Robert Reed with 14 points off the bench today. 10-point game, 3:44 remaining. And if the Mavericks can get a basket here, perhaps that timeout story can still be a factor. Harper inside, Perkins blocked by Sampson. Davis blocked by Olajuwon, and here's Phil Ford ahead of the field. See you later. Sampson and Olajuwon with 2 big blocks inside.
Like that triggers all kinds of great fast breaks.
3:09. 12-point lead. Davis is short. Sampson the rebound. Phil Ford. 113 to 101. The Houston Rockets lead the Dallas Mavericks. Nymphius overplaying Ralph Sampson. Perkins trying to do the same to Olajuwon. Hakeem baseline. And Memphis the rebound. 2:40 to play. Down by 12, and the Mavericks need a lot of points, but first they'll call a timeout. And there's the man that's really made it happen for the Houston Rockets today, John Lucas. Tommy, you talked about the defensive potential of these two big men at halftime.
I think this is what the most interesting part of the whole experiment with these two 7-footers is the defensive possibilities. They could be awesome. Here's 2 shot blocks, another one, and nothing triggers a fast break better than that. And there's a guy that used to block a few. My old friend. Bill Russell and that other guy from New Jersey, Rick Barry.
That's right. Talk about talent at the press table. Brad Davis has 13 points in the ball game. It's 113 to 104, 9-point ball game. And of course, we know that Dallas has to do a defensive job on the Mavericks, but is their game geared to a lot of points in a hurry?
No, not really, because they have to move it around, but they can fast break, but they're going to have trouble rebounding right in this stage of the game.
Sampson inside, fouled by Jay Vincent. 4 on Vincent, who's the leading scorer for the Mavs with 28. And Ralph Sampson will go to the line. He has 17 points and 12 rebounds tonight and a couple of blocked shots, and we saw one of them just a moment ago.
This is at this stage of the game. They've got a couple of guys to go to on matchup. Sampson being guarded by Vincent, which is a terrific mismatch. A 6'7" man guarding a 7'4". They can go to Olajuwon being guarded by the smaller Perkins.
He missed them both. Dallas needs points in a hurry, winding down to 2 minutes to go in the 4th period. Down by 9.
And conversely, up the other end of the court, Sampson has to guard Vincent, who's much quicker out there.
Here's Perkins breaking out, misses. Rebound taken down by Wiggins and nearly stolen by Derek Harper. 1:42 and running. And now the Rockets are smart to slow it up.
Sure, eat it up now, a minute and a half.
7 on the shot clock. Robert Reed. And Perkins clears it to Davis with 1:26. And it's still Dallas ball. Mavericks will inbound. Brad Davis with 14 points in the ball game. And they're going to call a Houston foul inside away from the ball. And that will be the 5th team foul. So the Mavericks will go to the line. And the foul is on Robert Reed, and that is his 6th personal foul, and he is out of the ball game. Reed fouls out with 14, Tommy.
Well, he gives Aguirre more trouble than anybody else. He's a cagey defensive player, Robert Reed. Well, if this guy coming in to replace him, McRae, is no slouch either.
He also has 5 fouls, but you're right. Aguirre gets 3. And Aguirre has 28, as well as Vincent. And a foul in the backcourt. And with the Mavericks in the penalty, Bill Fitch's Rockets will go to the line to shoot 2. Rolando Blockman will come in the ball game, replacing Derek Harper. 1:12 showing on the clock. Brad Davis fouled out of the ball game. 14 points.
He's the kind of guy, Brad Davis, you like to have to make sure the last couple of minutes of the ball game, the right people are getting the shots.
Phil Ford. 7-point lead now for Houston. 114 to 107.
The reason Phil Ford is in the ball game right now, Dick, is I think that Lucas is not as familiar with all the set plays that Fitch uses as Phil Ford is.
Good point. Clock running. Olajuwon knocks it the right way, but Dallas still has it, and a foul called. Derek Harper is fouled by Mitchell Wiggins, and Harper will go to the line with 1:01. Bill Fitch in his second year with Houston, and I'd have to say that there is some kind of pressure on him to show a lot of results with the likes of Sampson and Olajuwon in the lineup this year.
I'm sure the city of Houston is going to give him until about December to win the championship with these two big guys here. That's quite a pressure job they laid on his shoulders, but he's done it before.
Missed the free throw. Lucas on the bench right now has scored 23, and Harper misses both free throws, but Sam Perkins keeps it alive for the Mavericks. Aguirre goes for three. Not that time, and Ralph Sampson clears. McRae down court. And Harper fouls McRae with 48 seconds to go, and so the sand in the hourglass is running out for the Dallas Mavericks, and the Houston Rockets appear to be in control at this point with an 8-point lead.
Well, it's still a couple of three-point plays, and Aguirre can hit those from downtown, but one of their good three-point shooters, Brad Davis, is fouled out. The other one is Blackman. It'll kind of put it on the ice here if McRae can hit these.
Looking for his 10th point of the ball game. The timeout story. Dallas still has 1 and a 20. Mavericks came out strong, Tommy, but it's been Houston. The big second period and the big fourth period.
I'll tell you, this division is going to be some interesting division. This Dallas team is going to be something, and Houston has got it together already, it looks like.
Aguirre with his 30th point of the ball game, and that's more than he averaged last year. 8-point lead. They need a foul to stop the clock. That's what Dallas has to do now. Houston's playing keep away. McRae off the hands of Olajuwon. Here is Hakeem again. And Wiggins inside, and we will have a foul. Loose ball variety. And that'll be against Ralph Sampson, number 5. A lot of time ticked off. Tom.
At that stage of the game, I can see the potential of those big guys on any kind of offensive rebound opportunity. There's Lucas as we're looking at his face.
And our light beer most valuable player of the game is indeed John Lucas. 23 points and 7 assists. He was the catalyst to set up the big guys. And light beer is proud to present a check for $1,000 to the National Multiple Sclerosis Foundation in behalf of John Lucas, who is back in Houston after being with San Antonio, Washington, and Golden State, beginning his career in Houston.
Well, the point I was making before we announced Lucas the winner of the award was that these three guys at the end of a ball game are going to challenge anybody on the offensive board.
19 seconds to go. McRae gets 2, and now they're just trading baskets with 16 seconds to go. So Sam Perkins making his debut. 12 points in the ball game. Here's Blackman outside. Sampson the rebound. Want to thank our executive producer Ted Shaker and the boys in the truck in this game. Mike Burks, glad to have him back as our producer, and Sandy Grossman, our director. Marty Aronoff, our statistician. The debut of Olajuwon teaming with Sampson. I have to say it was success off game number 1, wouldn't you, Tom?
I'd have to say there's an awful lot of things they look like they've accomplished already, and Olajuwon didn't look like he was too inexperienced to me.
3 seconds to go, and the Rockets are going to get off on the right foot. Hakeem Olajuwon being congratulated. 24 points and 9 rebounds. And Ralph Sampson also playing an outstanding ball game. 18 points and 13 rebounds from the power forward position, although he played a lot of it at center. 3 seconds to go. Blackman, last shot, no good. And the game is history. The Houston Rockets and Hakeem Olajuwon break into the NBA to the tune of 121 to 111.